Hello and welcome back to another Warlords of Draenor video. This time we're going to be diving into the lore, and I do plan on covering every single, different character and all that sort of stuff, but today we're going to start off with Kargath Bladefist. Now this guy is, well, I suppose he's quite the badass, but he did turn out to be a bit of a bad guy in the end. So, he is the leader of the Shattered Hand clan. And first let's just talk about how the Shattered Hand were formed. So they're a clan made of many different kinds of orcs, and they used to be slaves. At the time of the clan's formation, the Ogre's empire still existed, and while it wasn't at the height of its power and it was on the decline, it was still pretty damn powerful. So one day Kargath broke free. He used his bindings to strangle his ogre overseer, and he finally freed himself from his bindings by chopping off his own hand and affixing a blade to his arm. He used this blade to free some other people and escape, and now any new members to the clan, in sort of custom, will slice their own hand off and replace it with some sort of weapon in honor of their leader. That means that these guys, very bloody, very pain-minded, overall quite violent. Now, in Warlords of Draenor, Kargath is definitely going to be portrayed as being very, very ultra-violent. From what I can gather from the older lore, he was still considered to be rather honourable, but perhaps that's going to change in Warlords of Draenor. I can't exactly be sure, but I'm just going to go on the lore that we know is 100% solid at the minute. So, there you go, he's the leader of the Shattered Hand Orcs, and during the First War he ended up having to stay behind in Draenor, while most of the other clans were involved in the First War. This probably wasn't terrible news for the clan, because the Orcs did lose in the First War. While they would win in the Second, still a lot of Orcs die in the First War. So before he wanted to originally go back and kick some Alliance ass, but unfortunately for him, the Alliance expedition came first, and they attacked through the Dark Portal. They believed the Ner'zhul resided in Hellfire Citadel, so they directly attacked it, using Illyria's rangers to kill the guards and that sort of thing. They could easily get through the gates, and Ner'zhul of course wasn't there. Instead, Kargath and his clan were there. They were used as a distraction by Ner'zhul while he tried to open the portals at the Black Temple. Of course, Kargath, while ultra-violent and that sort of thing, he did catch on to Ner'zhul's plan, and instead of having some sort of glorious fight to the death, they decided to flee with a few of the remaining surviving orcs. Eventually, he did make it to Nagrand, where he would try to rally some forces up to retake the Citadel, but this was unsuccessful. Essentially, no one would grant him the orcs that he needed to build up a decent-sized army for his clan, because at the end of the day, the Alliance did absolutely decimate them. So, yeah, that's really where he was for quite a long time, until Magtheridon overtook Outland. Magtheridon ended up ruling from his seat in Black Temple. Must have been quite a large seat, because he's a pretty hefty fellow. But anyway, more importantly, Kargath and his clan were empowered by Magtheridon's blood. And when you're empowered with a Pit Lord's blood, essentially, you get demon blood, your blood craze, you're extremely powerful. And in combination with some demons from the Burning Legion, Kargath was able to retake Hellfire Citadel, and basically that just secured Magtheridon's reign over the Broken World. So, later on during the events of Warcraft 3 The Frozen Throne, Illidan came to Outland, as we know, and he decided, hey, I want this place. So he defeated Magtheridon in combat, but he decided that he could be useful later on. I'm not particularly sure why, but what he did do was imprison him, and then put him underneath Hellfire Citadel. And ironically enough, Kargath Bladefist did join Illidan along with his clan, and they now, up to Burning Crusade, they they were like the jailers of Magtheridon, and what they were doing is using his blood to further empower Illidan's Fell Horde. And Kargath Bladefist was, of course, the war chief of the Fell Horde. Now, in-game, Kargath is dead. We've killed him. Which means that I suppose in future time we have killed him, but, of course, since Garrosh went back into an alternate universe before any of this stuff went down with Outland, so way before anything that I've talked about in this video, apart from the actual formation of the clan, Kargath is there, and he's probably a little bit less far gone. A lot of the leaders of the Horde, even including Thrall, actually, they were kind of sad to see him go when he did die, and they said that they preferred to remember the orc that he was when he was honourable, instead of the blood-crazed, demon-infused, I suppose, badass that he turned into. So, in Warlords of Draenor, the clan are located in the Spires of Arak, which is a zone they share with the Arakora, or Arakoa. Pretty cool race of bird people. Now, of course, the Arakoa actually have got wings at this point because they haven't been twisted by the energy from the portals that Ner'zhul unleashed. And the two species don't particularly see eye to eye, A, because they don't like each other, and B, because the Arakoa inhabit the upper spires of the zone while the orcs live on the ground. And that's really it. That's as much as we know about the Shattered Hand clan. Overall, pretty much they're quite pain-infested with their whole big chopping the arm off thing and putting a blade on it. In terms of their actual portrayal in Warlords of Draenor, even just looking at the concept art for Kargath, and they describe him as being the most hate-filled orc ever to attach a stump to his severed wrist, so I suppose that's probably indicative of what sort of character he will be like. We are pretty much sure that he's going to be an element of the Iron Horde, and therefore, at some point, we're probably going to put him down. Anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see more of these lore videos covering the Warlords of Draenor characters, zones, anything like that, then do let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.